Some modders may be boasting about getting a 7-day ban, and now they're back in the game tearing it up. Yes, that may be the case. We're going to look into how Kabam respond to all of that, and is the AI feeling more sped up? Hello everybody, welcome to the Wednesday MCN, hope you're doing well. There's not a huge amount going on in the community today or over the last 24 hours. There's a few things we're going to go over, but Kabam haven't answered against a large majority of things, and we haven't had an update to the revive farming situation and the apothecary. I am hoping that more information is kind of like dropped towards the end of the week, especially with new content being announced on a Friday. There is a little bit going on at the moment, especially when it comes to Act 8.2, and some data mine information is out. There is some stuff from MCOC player on that particular regard, especially with the boss, and some information of that. But do bear in mind, a lot of this stuff is subject to change with a lot of things. Like Kabam may choose, okay, well, we're going to change some stuff. They may do, they may not. I'm not saying they do, not saying they don't. They may have done it. They have actually done it in the past, where coming live to a new launch of a boss, they've changed some things about a champion. And then it's like that information becomes incorrect, or it changes, and that particular information needs to be updated. But in any case, that's really what's going on at the moment. So we've got a few stories to go over in the show today. In any case, hit the like button, subscribe with post notifications on all. We have got a nice little EOP 100%, Karina's challenges, all 100% opening later on today. It's the next video. So I'm looking forward to doing that one and seeing what I get. What will be my first ever rank 5 6-star champion. That should be pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. But now let's bring you up to date with what's been dropping over the last 24 hours. First of all, starting off with players weren't able to log in the early hours of, I think it was Monday, or it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday when the early hours. It's always difficult, obviously, for me. I was sleeping when all this stuff was happening. Wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden, oh, stuff be happening. And in particular, people couldn't log into the game. So I'm not quite sure what went on there, but it was a very odd explanation, because people were trying to access things like AQ, AW, I think that was going on at the same time, season obviously, but as well, like it wasn't great to kind of see all these kind of issues. Someone saying connection issues, but yeah, people were unable to log in and also continue on certain paths and things. Bit of a flurry of stuff, and someone saying, I'm in the UK. I get this weird screen. Either selection doesn't work. Do you want to start a new game or continue the game with your other device? And obviously that was someone just trying to like log into the game. Bit of a flurry. It must have been like a very early start if it was UK for this particular stuff, because I logged in fine on the morning, but it must have been very early morning. Make sure to get the correct amount of sleep, ladies and gentlemen. But in any case, the biggest surprise was this kind of like popped up during like normal hours for some countries, and this came up with the contest is currently down for a scheduled maintenance. Please check back shortly. So yeah, it's been a long time since Kabam did scheduled maintenance. I thought they either did it at a select time. It was kind of was it Tuesday night going into, no, it wasn't. It's Monday night going into Tuesday morning UK time. They used to do that. I don't know if they stopped doing it. But that's the thing. I think that it was more of a regular thing back in the day. First of all, Ahab said that thank you for everyone. Teams where contest champions is down. If you're encountering any of this, just let us know. But then Mike kind of like, responds to all this saying, the message cannot be changed because this is a controlled server side. We couldn't create a new message, so had to go with the last one that was there when we took the game into maintenance, which in this case was a scheduled maintenance. It's not ideal, but it was either this or continue unable to connect the message. I don't know why Kabam don't do more scheduled maintenances. And it's just a case of like bringing the game into, I got to be honest, I think that the game's performance after this maintenance was actually worse than it was before. But that's another thing as well. Like, do more maintenances and the effects of it will show, or do less maintenance and it's like it's okay. It's like I don't know whether or not it will be a good thing or a bad thing. Could be a good thing in order to kind of deal with certain instances of server lag issues that might arise, and also kind of like get things fixed. But I don't know how people would feel about that one. It's definitely noticed with this here, with people saying like, I can't log into the game, so it's frustrating for players, especially because Kabam have an AQ for Marvel Contest of Champions and an AW, which requires things on a timely nature and a well, yeah, timely nature for both things to get stuff completed. So very weird situation. I also saw like somebody asking, will there be a compensation for scheduled maintenance? Oh, no, definitely not. Kabam are not going to give out compensation for that. And the way I've said no like that is that Kabam just don't really give out compensation for these particular things, but it would be nice to see at some stage something like an energy refill, an Alliance War energy refill, and AQ energy refill. Just a little something, you know, wouldn't that be really good for the player base to kind of come back in after a scheduled maintenance or maintenance and just go, hey, by the way, this will help you out. Just kind of get kind of quickly something done that, you know, we took the time for, or something like that. That would be great. And now we move on to changes with the AI, Sped Up AI. Look, this could be tinfoil hat. Well, I think Kabam look at this as being tinfoil hat. But there is noticeable changes with the way that you kind of change your perception of reaction to enemy AI. When the defender's coming at you, a lot of the time you will have to make some decisions. I showcased this in yesterday's video where I looked at my EOP fight. I mentioned that the way that AI's behavior is so unusual at times. Look, if I'm expecting, you know, Kabam say that we haven't done anything to AI. Well, you know, if you go into Act 1 and then you go into Act 8 or you go into Eternity of Pain and expect the AI to be exactly the same, it's not going to be the case. So yes, indeed, Kabam have changed the AI. The AI profiles are changed depending on pieces of content. The more difficult content you go, the more difficult it's going to get with how they're kind of like they are ramped up. Kabam may deny that. It's always kind of weird when they say we haven't changed the AI, but they have to change the AI. They change the AI profiles for pieces of content. You know, you're not going to go into Abyss of Legends and go, do you know that Collector? He definitely, you know, works exactly like that Collector in Act 5, or definitely like that Collector that you might, or definitely like a champion in Act 1, for example. No, that's not the case. That's never going to be the right answer. And different content, different AI profiles have been created. Of course they are. One thing that I really want to look into a bit more is the speed of AI, especially with how, you know, Kabam, we're going to go over like, you know, Kabam's answer system, and Kabam are very much like, no, mention input issues, stop right there, no, you will not mention those particular things. Oh, AI problems, AI changes, no, you will not talk about those. And it's like, well, look, this is what players are kind of noticing, and if you're noticing something, we are the players that play the game, so if you're noticing something, then it's fair to make a mention on these particular subjects and stuff. But let's see what other players are kind of like are seeing, experiencing, and stuff like that. So it starts off this thread with this. Any reason why the speed of the AI has increased only and not the players? You can barely tell the difference between basic attacks and heavy attacks. 5-hit combos, heavy attacks, right after not enough time to evade. In spite of the changes to AI, it will continue to receive black eyes. So basically, you talk about a boxing fight and coming out with, you know, the impression on your eyes, or red eyes, or whatever, or bruising. Still very cool game. It's a cool game. It just always needs a lot of work doing to it. Surprising how much work it needs doing to it compared with other games. Yes, all games have problems, but I just see that too many stuff with MCOC. Probably saying removing the oh hell the mighty. I don't know. That's a bit of an odd thing to say. Mentions here, AI definitely has sped up. Not much, but quite enough to be noticeable. It's easy to test this by using your block. The AI is past would hit your block and then after would try to heavy break your block. Yeah, that's an odd thing. Yeah, I've noticed sometimes like the AI would kind of like, its behavior is a lot, well, it is different. You know, yesterday when I showcased that video, when I'm like got Thanos like, hey, I need you to come at me because I need to intercept you in order to get my indestructible charge, because if I don't get my indestructible charge, game over. And it's there like, oh, hey, no, I'm not going to come to it. No, I'm just block. Come towards it. No, stay block. Yeah. And I'm just stood there, no block, just going, what the hell are you doing? Are you actually going to come at me or not? And that means for kind of like just boring interactions. I've had one time when that's been fine, and then other times I've had 2 times where it's been terrible in EOP acceptance, and the rest of the time it's been okay. In any case, moving on. I was hitting the AI into the block, and I've noticed that it can easily fire specials or combos. They can easily fire combos and specials back. Yeah, hitting the block countered by special. It's been a thing for a long time, and Kabam said that they were never going to fix it. AI is blocking, so I go to the block, and they intercept me with a heavy. Yeah, there's a lot of weird interactions, and I don't doubt any of the information that's coming here as to like. And look, the AI has changed. I know Kabam don't want to say that. It's just a case of like, again, there's perfect examples to go back. You can go back to some of my content, like back, I'm talking 2-3 years ago, up to 8 years ago, and see that there is patterns of change. Yes, Kabam even agreed that they changed the AI profiles to be more difficult in certain areas, but it's definitely getting to a point where it's just like your level of pattern of play has to very much change fight to fight. And I mean, for me, I'm more of a cautious player nowadays, which isn't healthy for the eco space of this game being very kind of skill orientated moving forward. So so a lot of that, like, I'm not allowing this game to exist in my head rent free. It's not really fair. But in any case, Kabam's answer to a lot of this, a lot of these kind of probing of questions is, no, don't ask these questions. Especially because Kabam are like, look, well, just go here, and you have to do it by this as being the template for doing details about what you experience. So attacking champion, defending champion, game mode, actions that occurred immediately prior to the potential bug, device you are playing on, any other details you can include about specific encounters. Like all of this particular information, it's such a frustrating thing to go. And I've said this time and time before, like you are just trying to play a game for fun and having to literally break down the entirety of your particular interaction just to get to that point that if you're talking about something like AI interactions, that it's going to be just kind of like just flipped off as a thing. This is why we will need things like fight replays just to showcase. And at the same time, I think Kabam would need to keep an open mind as to, because a lot of the time it's them going like, oh, player error. Or it's like animation of champion's error, but then the other side going like, well, Ultron in this fight went really fast, and then the next fight went really slow when it comes to the animations, which you could have two videos kind of in correspondence, and they might go, oh, it's a glitch, that probably won't happen again, it was a one-off experience. But then it's like, right, well, why did they even bother in the first place reporting something if nothing's going to be dealt with? In any case, yeah, I really want to do a bigger video on this, breaking stuff down, but that's going to be probably coming at a later point in the month or next month. So yeah, interesting topic, and hopefully more's looked into this from Kabam's side of things, but I really doubt it. But, you're going to see a lot of closed threads. And finally, we end on this particular story coverage, and this was taken recently from a KT1 stream, and in this particular stream, this particular player, and I don't think we're going to have a look at whether or not this is true or not. It is hard to know 100% if this is indeed a correct kind of statement, because this player could be just winding them up. However, though, it's very specific in its way. It's especially because this player says, just got banned, started with a mod last week, so timeline, week. Legend title from Incursions, all Karena's EOP, 3 gauntlet runs, Abyss, several other Karena's challenges. Guess how long is my ban? Kabam is awesome. And look, this may be like a temporary ban. I don't think this. Like, if we kind of like search up this person, I don't think we're gonna find it. Yeah, I mean, this player is smart enough, and the thing is, you might say, wow, if you search up a name on there, it's not going to come up with something. It's not going to come with someone in game. Look, people are that not dumb, but like, look. People have done it before where their name in game is the one they might use on a YouTube kind of account for whatever reason. In any case, Kabam Mike responds to all of this and says, first off, the guy is more than likely causing outrage, lying to cause outrage. I would say that a lot of the time, if you are, depending on, if you're an MCC YouTuber or, the player base is angry or annoyed about the extent of hackers and modders and stuff, there'll always be somebody who will just do it just for the sake of it. It's like, just like global chat in MCOC, just don't have global chat on, to be honest. Mainly because people just wind people up just for the sake of it. So just avoid it. Abraham Lincoln once said, don't believe everything you read on the internet. Aha, very funny. This is as true today as it was then. Very good. Second, more often than not, people who are multiple offenders will get hit for get hit of all of these offences, even if they haven't yet. We've only done 1 or 2 waves of bans for incursions so far, so this is not a one and done situation. They may also not have been caught in ban waves for the other offences yet. If for some reason we find evidence that this guy is telling the truth and he hasn't been hit with a permanent ban, I can promise you we'll ban him so hard his children will get banned. That's very hard banning. That's a Bruce Banner level of banning. Any case, look, for a lot of us, we want to see more stricter kind of like means of just punishments, and a permanent ban is something that I think a lot of players would advocate for. Like, I just think that it needs to be done. It really does need to be kind of actioned. Regardless of what Kabam say about repeat offenders, we still need to find out whether or not people are keeping their rewards. Because that's the thing, like, oh, I'm not going to mod again. Oh, but you get to keep all those 6 stars, that Legends badge and some other stuff after a week of ban. Yeah, but I'll be good now. So you've already elevated your account's platform. That's the main thing there. Elevating that platform through ill-gotten means is not cool. It's not fair and it's not right. And also it's bad for Kabam, because what they've done is they've then allowed somebody to bypass their spending to already elevate their accounts, where spending in MCOC from a very early stage will elevate an account forward. So it would be a double L for Kabam in this particular situation. But in any case, I digress. To the point of what Kabam says in response to this. This has been answered many times when it calls, talk about the strike policy. But a one-strike policy does not help rehabilitate players to come back to responsible players that may play the game legitimately. We don't want to kick players out of the game permanently, and hope instead that we can show players that modding is not allowed, and that if they want to play the game, they have to do it like everybody else. If they don't want to play legitimately, then they can go play something else. But yeah, I really don't agree with the kind of the way that the punishment. I feel like it's going to be stricter. I know I've said my piece about how Battlegrounds needs to improve around this, and as well, having a competitive mode, you need to keep these people out. And if they don't, and if they don't reoffend after doing one Battlegrounds kind of like, season of exploit, again, we need to identify, do they get to keep those rewards? Because if they do get to keep those rewards, it's an unfair platform they've created for themselves. So yeah, that's really it. I don't think there's anything more. I mean, a lot of kind of like points and kind of response on these particular subjects from the players. So yeah, but look, that's where we're up to. No other kind of answer. In any case, that has been the show. Not quite sure what the arena champions are going to be. We'll do predictions on Friday in the Friday MCN, but that's been it. Thank you very much to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon, who are on screen right now. Also those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I'm going to see I think a hypnotist. Like a show. I'm not going to get I'm a chicken now. But yeah, I probably won't be live streaming today. I'm not quite sure on the time frame. I may be back in time. I'm not quite sure, but I may be live streaming. Maybe not. If not Thursday, for sure. But yeah, that is it. Also, make sure to check out some other content located on screen right now. Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. I'll see you all soon. Much love and bye.